If this is not a comfortable seat for your body, then I don't recommend it. Come into a seat that's comfortable for you. That can be legs out in front of you. Whatever makes the most sense in your body. Bring your index finger and your thumb together, and we're going to take the squishy spot at the bottom of the thumb and bring it to the center of the forehead and brush outwards towards your temples a few times. So just a little light skin on skin contact. This is to clear the muscles in your face, to relax them, so you have somewhat of a clean slate to begin practice. And then go from the sides of your nose out to your temples. And from your temples down to your chin, so tracing that bottom edge of your face, the jawline. And the sides of your nose down to your chin. And the corners of your mouth outwards towards your ears. And then take your fingertips underneath and behind your ears. There's little soft spots back there as you massage those places. You might find yourself lifting up from those places so the back of your neck is longer, you sit up a little bit taller. And then resting your hands down wherever it's comfortable to you. You might close your eyes or relax your eyelids and start to take some long, deep breaths. In setting intention for practice today, one of my favorite yoga sutra, the sutras are 200 or so short phrases that help to inform and guide the practice of yoga. There's stitches. My favorite is the first one. The first stitch of yoga, the first Yoga Sutra says, the practice of yoga begins now. And from the interpretations that I have read, from the way that I practice and honor this statement, is that every moment begins anew. Yes, we have had previous moments and they may inform what we do with our time, but having this fresh start, this clean slate, this opportunity to begin again at any moment is such a gift. Take another deep breath in through your nose. Let out a big exhale through your mouth. And one more time. You might open your eyes now. If you need to switch the cross of your legs or adjust your seat, please do. Take one arm and stretch it out to your side. Let the palm face down. Extend your fingertips. Make the arm active. I'm just a little bit lower than the shoulder with my arm. And then take your head and drop it down towards the opposite shoulder and move your chin forward just maybe an inch, maybe that much. So just a tiny little bit. And we'll stretch out the side of your neck. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, roll the chin down towards your chest. Take it nice and slow. When the chin gets down towards the chest, you can lift the head and bring that arm back in. And we'll just go to the other side. So the other arm stretches out. It's below the shoulder. The fingers are extended. The arm is reaching in an active sort of way. Relax the head down towards the opposite shoulder. Let the chin move forward just a tiny bit. It doesn't need to go much. And you'll feel that muscle that's kind of behind into the side of your neck, extending, stretching, releasing. Take another breath in. And on your exhale, relax the chin down towards the chest. And when it gets there, lift the head up. Go ahead and bring the arm back in. And then we'll take the arms up. Try to lift from what I call them the wing muscles, the outer arms, so you're not sticking your arms into your ears. Take another breath in. And then without touching the floor, side bend to one side. So I'm reaching my arm down to that place where it was kind of below my shoulder. And then inhale, lift up. And on your exhale, only reach to the side without touching the floor. Now you can of course touch the floor if you want to make it a little easier. We'll inhale, lift up, and exhale, side bend to the other side. And inhale, lift up to the center. Exhale, move the other way. We'll take about 2 more on each side. So touching the floor makes it just a little bit easier. We're challenging a little bit more by not doing so. And ideally, I'm not rocking from hip to hip. I'm keeping both hips firmly planted down where I'm sitting. And then take the arms back up. I'm gonna bend the elbows, take an exhale, stretch the chest out, just let those arms reach back and down. And then we're gonna come down to child's pose. So I like to start sitting up on something. If you do too, you can just slide that up to the side. If you have yoga blocks, I will say that they might be useful. You don't really need them, but I just like to put them by the front of my mat. So knees might be a little bit wider. They might be closer together, finding a good place for you, stretching your arms out in front of you. And then we're gonna work on stretching those arms a little bit more. So keep crawling them out. We're gonna lengthen the spine a lot today. So a lot of good strong and long core work. Take a couple more times where you're just continuously reaching those fingers out and out and out and out. And then when you find a good place for you, when you're pretty sure you can't get any longer, go ahead and rest. The forehead touches the mat, the hips reach back as far as they will comfortably go. It might be a little bit stimulating to your shoulders. If it's too much, widen your arms. That will tend to help. One more breath out. And start to lift yourself up. I'm gonna come up to hands and knees, and if their knees are feeling tender, just bring a blanket in underneath your knees. We're gonna take the right leg and stretch it out behind us. So we're gonna rock back and forth a little bit. So my toes are tucked under, and I'm stretching out my calf and some of my foot tension. And then you're gonna flip the foot over. So you can see my toes are tucked under. I'm on the top of my foot, just stretching the ankle. Not much of anything. I'm just turning so that you can see my foot. And then pull that knee back in, take the other one back, curling the toes under, rocking back and forth a few times, just stretching the muscles on the bottom of the feet and the back of the calf. And then we're gonna flip the foot over so I'm on the top of the foot. I'm stretching the front of the ankle. The longer I make my leg, the more I feel that stretch, if that is helpful information to you. And we'll go ahead and bring that leg back in. And then we're gonna take the right foot forward outside of the right foot. So you'll see that I have my arms on the inside of my leg, and I'm gonna walk my foot and my knee just a little bit wider so I have a little bit more space. Bringing blocks underneath your hands can be really helpful here. I'm actually up on fingertips. And then we're gonna push down into that front foot. A little bit more work in that front leg. We're gonna inhale, stretch the right arm forward. And exhale, lower it down. And then try and keep the hips steady. Inhale, reach the left arm forward. And exhale, lower it down. And then again, inhale, right arm. And exhale, and inhale, left arm. And exhale, one more time. Inhale, right arm. And lower, and left arm. And lower, and then we're gonna leave the left hand down. We're gonna reach the right arm up into a twist. So I'm gonna twist towards my front leg. And today that will be the direction that we twist, always towards the front leg. You might find yourself pushing down a little bit more into that foot. Let out another exhale. And then go ahead and bring both hands down. Like I've said, you might have blocks around. So this time I put my right arm on the outside of my right leg. So now I'm framing that foot. And I'm gonna leave my toes facing back. And I'm gonna push down into my hands, down into the front foot. I'm gonna try to lift that back knee. Cool. And it is early, and our bodies are not quite as flexible, not quite as mobile. I'm finding it difficult to get my back legs straight today, which is okay, but I'm standing on my front foot. Take another breath in. And gently lower that knee back down, and then we'll switch sides. I'm gonna take the right knee back, and I'm gonna bring the left foot forward outside of my leg. I'm on fingertips or have hands on blocks. My blocks are the same color as my floor, so it's a little hard to see, but you just grab them when you find them to be useful. So there's a difference between relaxing my hips forward and pushing down into that front foot. And I find when I push into the front foot, I'm a little more stable. My hip pulls back my spine. My waist on that side is a little bit longer. We're going to take an inhale, reach the left arm forward. And exhale, lower. And inhale, reach the right arm forward. And exhale, lower. I'm working on that long side, so I'm really reaching forward as I breathe in. And let the hand come back in. Inhale, reach it forward, trying to keep my hips stable. It's a little bit of work to do, so one more time. Inhale, left arm. Exhale, lower, and inhale, right arm. And exhale, lower. And then I'm going to take the left arm open into a twist. So like this isn't wrong. It's a nice stretch for my hips. But if I push into that foot, I can twist a little bit more. So have a little bit more open space around the heart. Just one more breath in. Let the breath out. And then I'm going to take my left hand down. If I narrow my stance a little bit, it's a little easier. You might grab blocks for your hands. I'm going to keep the toes facing behind me, not out to the side, not turning in, but straight back there. Push into my hands and the front foot and lift that back knee. Oh. Okay. Just do a little foot stretching and strengthening. Oh. One more breath in. And gently lower that knee back down, hold both legs back. And then come to laying down on one side, and I would recommend the side that allows you to face towards me. We're gonna reach the arms out above the head. And you might be able to bring both hands together. You can kind of see in the bottom of the screen, my bottom hand is not on the ground because that's bringing the hands in line with the top of my head, which is not in line with the ground. And I'm trying to unfold myself as much as possible. So this is, if it's easy, you're probably bringing your feet forward in front of your hips. If it's hard, it's okay. You're already on the floor. You won't fall very far. We're going to make the body really long. So I'm unfolding the hips as much as possible, pushing my palms together so I feel those, call them the wing muscles, the ones that are just under your shoulder blades. Those are active. And you might be a little bit more wobbly. I'm pretty sure my other side is going to be my wobbly one if this one is so stable. Reach out just a little bit longer. And then you can relax. You can bend these knees a little bit. And then you're going to come and prop yourself up. So I've got my bottom arm is about a foot or so away from my hip. I'm going to take the top leg and just cross it over wherever it goes is fine. The bottom leg gets long. And we want to feel a stretch on the outer seam of the torso. And if your hip is too far back, you won't feel it. So if you're not feeling it, we're going to bring that hip forward. And the place I feel it most is right in here. It's a place I call the side pants. And you're going to relax into that. Right. And then it's up to you. If you want to make this a little bit easier, you can put a block underneath your hand. Anytime you make your arms longer, arm heavy postures are a little bit easier. Stand on this foot. It's doing a normal thing. Don't try to stand on the back foot. We're going to use this foot. We're going to use this hand. And we're going to lift up. And you're going to stretch the other arm up and over your head because it looks really cool. We like looking cool. And then we're going to lower the hips. They may or may not touch the floor and reach back because, again, just because it looks cool. And then inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower down. Keep pushing into that arm. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. This time, lower all the way down onto your hip. And then you can roll yourself over or you can swing your legs around like I'm going to do because it's weird not to face you. And then we'll start on the other side where you're laying in a really, really long line. So
It looks like my feet are behind me, but that's really just the place where I'm really long. If my feet are forward, I have a fold in the front of my hips. I want to unfold that as much as possible. My arms reach out and over my head. The center of my head is off the floor, so my hands are off the floor as they press together. And I lengthen my body, feeling a little bit of work in my core, but it's not a crunch. I'm working on a long spine today, not doing a crunch, because never has a crunch been a functional, useful thing for me to do in my life. One more breath in, reach out a little bit longer through those fingertips. And then we're gonna relax a little bit. Prop the body up. I've got my hand about a foot or so, maybe a little bit more away from my hip. And the top leg crosses over. My bottom leg is pretty strong, and I want to roll forward so I'm on the side of my hip and not back on my bum. So I have just more sensation there. If it's too much sensation, you can always roll back a little bit, but maybe leaning into that, really opening up through the official anatomy term, the side pants, which I think should be official anatomy term, because at least you understand, we understand where that is, right? Okay. And now if you wanted to put a block underneath your hand, it will be a little bit easier. Making your arms longer makes arm strength postures a little bit easier. We're going to stand on the front foot and the bottom hand. Lift up, breathe in. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. One more time. Push the floor away, get the hips up really high, and then lower the hips all the way down and walk with your hand. Interlace your fingers. Make some figure eights through your wrists. And then just in case you thought you had good body awareness, try to go the other way, which always makes me laugh. And then shake your hands out. And we're gonna go to downward facing dog. Again, any arm carrying postures will be a little bit easier if you put your hands on blocks. I like to go on the middle setting. My hands like that a little bit better. Lower setting is fine too. Not using blocks, also totally good. Just take a little bit of time to stretch out through the backs of your legs. Walk through the heels a little bit, or shake your tail around. I have two dogs and both of them shake their tails constantly, so I'm pretty sure that's a useful thing to do for our bodies. We'll come to a more stationary position, just hang up here for a moment. And push down into your arms, feel the hips lifting up and back like I tied a bunch of balloons around them. And then you're gonna take your right leg and you're gonna reach it up in the air and set it back down. And then reach it up in the air with vigor, with a little bit of gusto. Sling that leg up there, inhale, set it down. And then one more time, lift that leg up and set it down. Now we're gonna lift the right leg up and you're gonna set it forward outside of your right hand. So I'm in a wide lunge. I don't have the foot in between my hands, I have the foot outside of my hand. And I'm telling you, if you have some blocks underneath your hands, this will be a little bit easier. Be as easy on yourself as you like. We're gonna do that a few more times. So take your right leg and reach it up in the air, and then you're gonna try to get it outside your right hand. And then inhale, reach the leg up. Exhale, foot outside the hand. Two more. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, bring it forward. And again, inhale, bring it up, and exhale, bring it forward. Now, if like a lot of folks, your hip is just not as excited about bringing the foot that far forward, if you find yourself back here, you're just gonna grab it and scooch it up. So now I've got my back knee off the ground. I want to lengthen that leg. Much easier to get my legs straighter in this place with my toes tucked under. And I'm going to stand firmly on that front foot, so I'm not going to let the hips move to the side. I'm going to inhale, stretch the right arm forward. Ooh, good morning, hip. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, left arm forward. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, right arm forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left arm forward. Exhale, lower. And now, if you're feeling really frisky
And if you want to lower the back heel, it'll be a little bit easier, but you can't let your hips go to the side. If you're feeling really frisky, it might be both arms that you reach out. One arm is totally fine. Oh, not for the faint of heart. One more breath in. And then go ahead and lower your hands down. And we're going to plant the palms and stretch that right leg all the way back and send it back up again. And then step the left foot down. And we'll start with the right foot goes down. Both feet are down. That's it. And then inhale, the left leg lifts up. And then you'll set it back down again. So we're trying to lift the leg. Just put a little bit of momentum behind it. You can fling things at this point. That's all right. One more time. Left leg lifts up. And then lower it down. And then we're going to put a little bit more into it. Inhale, left leg lifts up. Now we're going to try to go outside of the left hand. Okay. As I get my hair and my hood out of my face. Okay, so whatever it is fine. We're going to keep trying to get it up further. Inhale, stretch the leg up. Exhale, bring it forward. Inhale, up. Ooh, exhale, forward. Two more. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward. One more time. Bring that foot forward. Take a moment to collect ourselves here. So I'm standing on the front foot. My foot is on the floor in a position I'm used to standing on it in, the foot, not my leg. But the foot pushes down. That's lifting my hips. Long, straight back legs. My legs are supporting me. I have some freedom in the arms. Inhale, left arm goes forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, right arm goes forward. Ooh, little work in my hips. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. And see if you can get longer when you reach. And lower. One more each side. Woo. And then firmly planting through my feet. One arm is totally fine, but both arms is just really cool if you feel like doing something really cool and a little bit crazy. One more breath in. And then lower, plant those palms down. Take the left foot, stretch it back, and set it down. Good. Okay. Now, with really, really strong armpits, not just arms, all the way from the armpits, you're going to lift your heels and then roll your heels over towards the right side of your mat, and you're going to try to relax them down. Probably the left one won't go all the way down. And then we're going to push armpits down to hands, and I'm feeling that side pant space stretch. And then we're going to lift it up and over. Stretch that side pants area. Lift those hips up, heels down to the left, right side of the body really long. And then come back to the center. Walk your feet up to your hands and your hands back to your feet. You can bend your knees a whole bunch, and you can hold on to your ankles or your shins or the floor. And then we'll stand. Okay. My arms are going to be cut off because my good camera is apparently broken. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, this is Vira Mudra or Charlie's Angels hands, if that's really helpful to you. And I'm going to bring my feet together, and my arms are up and over my head. And I'm going to reach as long as I possibly can. I'm going to take another breath in, exhale, side bend to one side. And push into the opposite foot. Ooh. And then come up to the other side. Up and over, not just over. Up and over. And push into the opposite foot. Reach out. And one more time. This time, really lift your inner thigh muscles. Breathe in. Exhale, side bend to one side. Lift those inner thighs muscles. Squeeze the legs, come to the center. Exhale, side bend to the other side. And then lift up. And then we're going to bend the elbows and take our time opening the arms. Let's stretch the front of the shoulders. Take the hands all the way down. Okay. So I'm going to warrior one. So I've got that back heel down. I'm going to take my arms up. Leave the legs really strong so my upper body has some freedom. My right foot is forward. I'm going to take the right arm and reach it down. I'm just going to reach the arms in opposite directions. And then I'm going to switch sides. As you take the right arm up and the left arm down, the tendency is going to be for the hips to slide to the side. Don't let that happen. Keep them underneath you. Strong legs, breathe out.
And come back up, warrior one, breathe in. And we're gonna open to warrior two, and you might have some tap dancing as I do to find your feet in the right place. Let your left arm come behind your back. And then rather than folding backwards in your peaceful warrior, can you lift up on that peaceful warrior? Take a breath in. And then you can relax arms. You can feel that lift. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Right elbow goes to the right thigh. The tendency will be for the hips to go back. That's okay. We know it's a tendency. It's common, but we're going to bring the hips forward here. So I'm unfolding at the front of this hip. And then take your left arm and reach it up and over your nose. So I'm not folding forward, but I'm also not jamming my shoulder blade to my spine. You got a really long space here. Push into that back foot. That diagonal line I'm making through the body is really strong. It's really stretchy. It's really dynamic. Breathe in, breathe out. And then lift yourself up. Take the back foot and bring it forward. And then we'll go to the other side. So warrior one. And in warrior one, you don't want to stand one foot in front of the other. You want the feet just a little bit wider so you've got some room to bring the hips forward. It's an inexact science, but I find that it's helpful. Let's start with arms up. Strong legs. The upper body has a lot of freedom. Breathe in. Lower the left arm as you breathe out. Now this opposition one, it's easy to keep the hips underneath us and feel that side stretch. Wait a little bit more out of the other side. So lift the left arm up, take the right arm down, and I'm trying to drop my hip away from my armpit, lengthen this side. One more breath out. Inhale, arms up. And then we're gonna open to warrior two. And the butt stays here underneath me. It's a little bit easier to let it flip out, but we're gonna keep it underneath us. Just do that work. And then let the right arm come back. Inhale, go up through the left side. And relax as you exhale. Inhale, lift up. Relax as you exhale. One more time. Inhale, lift up. As you exhale, relax the arm. You're going to take the left elbow all the way down to the left thigh. Don't let the hips move back. Keep them moving forward. Right arm goes up and over the nose. And that's just so my shoulder blade is not jammed back. And I'm stretching those wing muscles. Those aren't muscles on the bottom of my shoulder blade, my upper back. Hips go forward, push into the back foot. One more breath in and out. And then stand yourself up. And both feet on and forward. Move back so you can see me. Not back that far because no wall's there. Okay, we're going to do just a little bit of balancing. We'll take warrior three. And warrior three moves in three directions. And it's important to think of all three of those directions. Otherwise, you're going to fall. And you might still fall. But moving in all three of those directions helps to balance the energy. And it works on some really good opposition, some good long, strong spine stuff. Reaching your arms back behind you is way easier. Reaching your arms out to the side is also kind of nice, but I feel then that sometimes my shoulders go forward. You can keep hands at your heart. That's also really good work. But the really spicy version, if you're into the really spicy version, is to reach your arms forward. So we're going to take one foot and take it back. One direction is reaching down to the floor. One direction is reaching back through the leg. The really important one is reaching forward through your heart or through your arms. So it can be like this, or it can be like this. See, falling is not necessarily not an option, even if you're reaching, but you get a little stronger with it. Oh my gosh, the tap dancing today. And then reach just a little bit longer. And come up. And then try the other side. So I'm reaching in three directions. I'm pushing my standing foot into the floor. And I keep looking around and I'm seeing myself move. If you look at something that's not moving, it's a little bit easier. And then come up and shake things out. And then move your fingers and your wrists around like you're casting a spell. And move in the other direction just in case we casted something really weird we don't want to deal with. Okay. And then you're gonna set your feet down. If you're on a mat, maybe about as wide as your mat if you don't have a mat, and just a little bit wider than your hips. It's not super wide, but my hip bones are here. This will be just a little bit wider. Toes face forward. You can bend the knees as much as you like. We're gonna take fingertips down to the ground, and we're gonna keep the weight on our feet. And sometimes, especially if you feel like forward folding is not your favorite thing, you kind of bring the weight into your hands because you're like, please, just any tension off of my legs, please. But we're not going to put that weight into our hands. So we're not going to do a handstand. I promise, no handstands today. And so in that vein, we will not put the weight into our hands here. We're going to leave the weight in our feet so that my fingertips are free. Let's scoot back a little bit. So in the camera, I'm going to leave the weight in my feet. I'm coming up just to the very, very tips of my fingers. Again, if you want to use blocks, you can put blocks underneath your hands. It's a great way to open up some space. But I'm just on the tips of my fingers, no weight at all. In fact, I'm just on my fingernails, so I know that I'm not putting any weight there. And like we did in that child's pose earlier, without putting weight in my hands, I'm going to crawl my arms as far forward as they will go. But the weight is in my feet. I've got a little bend into my knees, which is giving me some space in the hamstrings. Oh, really long spine. Both of my side pants are lifted up and back. I'm going to walk it back in. I'm going to stand up, take a moment for the blood to go back in the places I want it to be. I have just a few more hard-weird things before we get going. I'm going to actually do my left side first just so that I can face you, but feel free to whatever. So we'll talk about front leg and back leg. So we're going to take one leg back, and we're going to come to this lunge. Got the back leg really long. I'm lifting that back thigh, and it's much easier now that I have my toes tucked under, like I'm used to them being, but I'm still using some effort. And if you want to put a block underneath your hand, it will make this a little bit easier. We're going to twist open towards the front leg. Back leg is lifted. I'm going to lift my inner thighs a little bit. Spiral open through the heart. And then my bottom arm is not lazy. I'm not sinking into my shoulder. I'm pushing into that bottom arm from the armpit down. Now, I'm going to wiggle my foot back about halfway. It's an inexact science. Half is anywhere between 100 and 0, okay? But I'm going to push into that foot, so I'm lifting my hips. My heart is open. I'm reaching into both of my arms. This is a wonderful place to stay. Feel free to stay here. That is a-okay. If you want to make it a little bit harder, we'll take a full side plank. And then, you remember how before we could let our hips go back and we don't feel as much? You definitely feel stuff here. But we're going to bring the hips forward. We're just a little bit stronger, a little bit more on wide. One more breath in. And then take both hands down over your knees. Circle that supporting wrist around. Okay, a little bit more, same side. I'm going to take the foot forward. I'm going to wiggle that back leg back. Twist, same direction. Now, if my hips go out, that's fine, but I'm going to feel a lot less like things are put together. I want to put the things together. I'm going to pull my inner thighs up. I'm going to twist. And then I'm going to take my top arm up and over my nose. And I can feel like if I let my hips go out, that is a thing, it happens. But what happens if you pull the hips back? Oh, good. Okay. Feel free to stay there. Do that again. Maybe you curl the back toes and you lift the back knee. Twist to the side. Don't let the hips move away. Keep them underneath you. We're going to take that top arm up and over the nose. Oh, really long. Face. Oh. Spiral the heart over towards that leg. Okay. Now, one more. You can stay there. You can put the back knee down. This I call the kickstand side plank. Is a great side plank. Great way to build up strength. Great way to lift my hips. Not quite as much pressure. Great place to be. Maybe full side plank. And we're going to take that top arm up and over. Oh my gosh. Holy long body back, man. One more breath in. Okay. Let it go. Circle the wrists. You can massage them. Especially spending so much time with weight on the hands. If you're a vinyasa person, you like to do all the chaturangas, massage your wrists in your hands. And make sure to use your armpits. Your armpits help too. But Blood flow stimulates repairing tissues. It's very helpful. I like to do a lot of it. We'll have another leg. Okay, let's do. So I'm going to take the other foot forward, and I'm going to start just with that twisting lunge. So I'm here, arms are open. I'm using that block. If you make your arms longer, I'm telling you, all of your planky down doggy stuff will be easier. I have very long arms to begin with, so I've definitely noticed that to be true. I pull those inner thighs up, breathe in. Open that heart a little bit more, breathe out. Okay, now here's where it begins. We're gonna take that kickstand side plank. So I'm gonna roll towards the pinky toe edge of my foot. My front leg, well, my leg that's up, my toes face out. And it is possible to do this with the hips going back, but I'm stronger. It's more functional with my hips lift up and forward. I'm using that bottom long, strong side. Maybe the foot goes all the way back, and it does not have to. But we're not gonna let the hips go back. We're gonna lift the hips up and forward, reach into both arms, breathe in. Okay, both hands down, both knees down. Take a little rest. Work out that supporting wrist. Okay. Now the best stuff, the twisty, side bendy, long body stuff. We're gonna start with the back knee down though. So I know when I do weird stuff, my hips try to leave. Like my butt muscles are like, no, thank you, this looks hard. But the fact is my butt muscles are really helpful to me, so I'm gonna keep them in. And then we're gonna twist. And I'm gonna take the arm up and over my nose, not my ears, so my shoulder blades are not jammed together. And I soften my belly and I spiral the heart over towards that side. Reach out through that top arm, breathe in. Stay there as you breathe out. And then we're gonna move and turn the back knee up. Open arm. Lift those inner thighs. Twist and reach the top arm over. Push into the bottom arm. Think of softening your belly as you breathe out. There's more room to twist there. And we're gonna open it up. We've got the side plank if you want it. And although you could stay in that twisting lunge, that is absolutely fine. Let's lift those hips up. Top arm goes up and over. Ooh. If you're feeling up for it, and it's fine if you're not, life is weird and hard, you can stay in that side plank, that kickstand, or we can go full side plank, top arm reaches up and over, breathe in. Breathe out. Both hands down, lower knees. Massage, wiggle out your wrists. All right. Now we're at the finishing stretch. If you are not like the most enthusiastic folder in the world, I like to sit up halfway on a blanket, so it's just barely behind me, kind of propping my hips up and forward. I'm gonna bend one leg. Reach the opposite hand towards the outside of your leg. I mentioned I have really long arms. And you're like, how the hell is she touching her foot? We didn't even do any hamstring stretching. You just touch wherever it goes. But I'm reaching with the opposite arm. I've got a little bit of a twist going on. And that reach of the opposite arm, I'm thinking of reaching because I'm opening up that upper back space. I should feel a little bit of upper back stretch. So a little hamstring, little upper back. 2 more exhales. Okay. Other side. One leg is just up, wherever it goes is fine. Opposite arm, reaching out towards that leg. I'm trying to grab the pinky toe edge of my foot or the outside edge of the shin. 2 more exhales. And lift yourself up. I'm gonna make the legs really long, really wide. They are long. We're gonna go wide. Hands go back behind you, and you're gonna use the arms for a little bit of boost. So I'm gonna push my heart as far forward as it will comfortably go. So I'm gonna tilting forward in the hips, getting a lot of inner thigh opening. My heart is open.
Now, if you've got like knee and hip stuff and doing like one leg bent in does not feel comfortable to you, it's not worth it. Okay, just leave both legs up. It's totally fine. The one thing I like about this is that it gives my hamstring a little bit more room to only work on one hamstring and not on both. So it's totally up to you if you want to bend one leg or not. Just notice if the hips lift up. I'm going to try to keep the hips pretty steady. We're going to lift the toes on whichever leg we're going to, if not the extended leg. And I'm going to take my arm out and I'm going to reach the other arm up. So I am rotating my heart up and out. These toes are lifted because maybe as I reach my arm up and over my nose, which is shadowing my face, not over my ear, but over my nose. So now I have that open upper back space, not a pinchy shoulder blade. Sometimes we find the toe. Now, if finding the toe means that you went here, then we're not finding the toe in the right place because we're working on that side space. You don't have to find the toe. You can just reach in the direction of it. Both hips are down. Oh, 2 more breaths. One more exhale. Woo. Come on up. I feel like I've had some extra vertebrae inserted on that side. Moving to the other side. So again, both legs could be up. I'm gonna lift these toes, which is tensing my hamstring. It takes a little bit of the hamstring flexibility out of it. But if you relax your toes, you'll notice it's easier to kind of sink. Lifting my toes sends that message to my body of lifting all throughout me. So it's gonna be helpful here. I'm gonna take one arm down towards that leg and then start by opening, reminding myself that I want to open, not pull down to my leg. I want to try to spiral open as much as possible. Arm goes over the nose. Maybe finds toes, maybe does not find toes. Open it, open it, open it. This is easier after I've been practicing for an hour or more. It's harder after I've been practicing for 45 minutes. Funny how that works. Whoa, drop both hips. Breathe in. Stay there as you breathe out. Stand up. Wiggle your arm bones around. And come down on your back. We are about sorted out. Just as a heads up, if you, I'm gonna like kind of lead you into Savasana. If you want to stay in Savasana, you can if you've got more of your own time. But for those of us who are on a time crunch, got other things to do, let's real quick just come down onto the back, bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a little rock around. And then keep holding on to your right leg, let the left leg extend out long. It doesn't have to be straight, it doesn't have to be energized at all. We're just gonna make it as long as it will comfortably go. Take a deep breath in. Breathe some softness into your right hip as you exhale. Then the right arm is gonna go and twist over, or right leg is gonna go over to the left. The right arm is gonna go to the right. Words are hard. One more breath out. And come back to your back. We're going to take that left leg and draw it in now. We're going to let that right leg extend out. So no, don't worry about the right leg, but make it as long as you can comfortably get it. We'll take a breath in. Bring some softness into that left hip as you exhale. Then left knee to right, left arm to left. Breathe in. Soften your belly as you breathe out. Stay here for another breath. We'll come back to your back. Your feet come onto the mat, maybe a little bit wider than your hips. You can let your knees fall against each other. If you feel a little bit off center, just wiggle until you find center. Maybe a hand comes to your belly and a hand comes to your heart. I think that first Yoga Sutra, that first stitch, the practice of yoga begins now, which now is not 45 minutes ago when we first sat down. Now is now. So now my practice of presence, of awareness, of breath, now it begins for the rest of my day. So if you have some time and you want to hang out here, if you want to rest in Savasana, a little meditation, great thing to do after some movement, you're welcome to rest as long as you like. If you've got things to go attend to, I hope you have a really wonderful day, and thank you for hanging out with me. Take care. Bye.